So, this is the kind of peculiar spiritual landscape in which we exist. Little wonder that the churches and the ABC and the universities and the schools don't really know what's happening. Because literally these are seismic shifts in the landscape. These are earthquakes. These are massive changes. And I'm spending a lot of my time, as Peter said in his introduction, trying to understand the spiritual landscape. But I feel like I'm almost walking on logs on a river, because the landscape's changing all the time. And what we thought was spirituality turns out no longer to be spirituality. More and more people, especially in spirituality studies, which is now a new academic area, and I go to spirituality studies conferences around the world, are trying to pry spirituality and religion further apart. They've decided that spirituality is good and religion is bad. And I tend to represent a force running opposite to that. So I'm seen as a bit of a stick in the mud, almost, a bit of a conservative force. Although in the churches, I'm seen, ironically, as a very radical figure. So much so that in the 1990s, I was actually officially banned by the Catholic Church. And I cannot speak on Catholic property. Eat your heart out, George Pell, because here I am at St. Joseph's St. Joseph's Retreat Centre in Baulkham Hills, which is indeed Catholic property. But in the 1990s, I was very, very public. I was often on television, on debates with people like Philip Adams, Geraldine Doog, and Caroline Jones, on radio with people like Rachel Conn. And then the bishops and the cardinals and so on started to actually listen to what I was saying, and they didn't like it because it's radically democratic. And in some ways, I should be an honorary Protestant, because I have a sort of a thumb your nose attitude to the Catholic hierarchy, which is very similar to Martin Luther's ideas in the Protestant Reformation. So I'm a sort of a Protestant Catholic, as it were. Very hard to pigeonhole. Or as I said to someone at breakfast, I'm a roaming Catholic. I roam around the perimeter, an outrider. My view is that although there's this pressure today to push spirituality and religion apart, because it suits the agenda of a whole lot of people not to deal with religion because they see it as just too heavy, too much involved in tradition, and they want to create this new discipline called spirituality studies. I think spirituality and religion personally do belong together. If I change the metaphor from continents drifting apart, like India and Australia, take for instance the metaphor of the human body, we might say that religion without spirituality is like a body without a heart. And spirituality without religion is a heart without a body. And I often say that to my students who say, you know, I'm not very religious, but I am spiritual. It's very difficult to be spiritual without a body. It's very difficult to be spiritual without a community. And it's very difficult to be spiritual without form. And I think that's what religion is. It's form. See, I often jokingly say to my students, well, you can each be spiritual individually, but if 5 of you get together, that's religion. Because that's what religion is. It's the gathering, it's the community, it's people being together. And they resist that idea. They say, no, that's just group spirituality. That's not religion. That's group spirituality. But I think that